Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I'm Maui Paul. We are here today to pull a card off of the top of my I am deck. These cards are full of positive affirmations phrased in the form of I am statements. And so I'm going to ask you to just repeat the words after me. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. And what I'd like for you to do is to answer out loud, I am that affirmation. And as we do, we are speaking some truth into our own lives. And so let's begin by saying that today, I am altruistic. I am altruistic. My actions reveal sensitivity and compassion. So I am altruistic. My actions reveal sensitivity and compassion. Are you altruistic? You are altruistic. Your actions reveal sensitivity and compassion. Put that up here. And I am going to write that down in the comments. And as I do, I encourage you to do the same exact thing. But as we write these things down in the comments, we are making them real for ourselves. So, boom. I am altruistic. My actions reveal sensitivity and compassion. And what is altruism? I chose an image of a watering can watering a flower to represent altruism. Now, altruism is an act of selflessly helping others without expecting anything in return. What can the flower do for the watering can? And why would the person who's watering the flower do anything for the flower? Well, what can the flower do for them except just be beautiful by being what it is? The flower has no purpose except to, no purpose for the one who waters it except to just be beautiful, to exist for its own sake. And so altruism is very much like that. We water other people. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Shauna. I see you guys are here. We water other people. We water into other people's lives. Good morning, Brenda Jean. I see that you are here as well. Wonderful to see these beautiful altruistic people here on the wake-up call this morning. So anyways, altruism is a selfless thing. It's all about helping others without expecting anything at all in return. An altruistic relationship is a transformational one. It transforms the person who does the altruistic act. It transforms the one who receives the altruism. And it transforms everybody around who sees what happens or who watches the transformation in the participants of the altruism. So altruism is a huge, huge and important thing in our lives. Helping other people is very beneficial to us. It can make us cognizant of our own good fortune, because how can we give except as we already have received? And it increases our overall sense of happiness and well-being. When we help other people, we build stronger relationships with them. Good morning, Easy. I see that you are here today. So when we are altruistic, we build stronger relationships with the people that we are altruistic with the people that we are helping with no expectation of anything in return. And engaging in acts of kindness and compassion, and it helps us to reduce stress. In fact, I was reading, as I was researching this word a little bit earlier on in the morning, I was thinking about, I was researching it, and a whole bunch of medical studies actually came up that showed that helping other people improves physical health and lowers the risk of chronic disease. So even the medical establishment has actually studied this phenomena. It's really interesting, because you wouldn't think that the medical establishment would have anything to do with studying the effects of being nice to your neighbor, and yet they have repeatedly. And so I found no less than 6 studies that showed that people who are altruistic, or people who make it their business to help other people, typically lead longer, healthier lives and are at lower risk for chronic health conditions. Freaking neat. What a connection. I didn't even know that it existed. So how do we incorporate this into our lives? Like, how do we do it? How do we give altruistically? And how do we ensure that our giving is something that is beneficial to us and also to those who are the recipients of our giving? And how do we avoid having our giving become a transactional thing? And so the first thing to understand is we just have to do it small. We can't give from our cup. We have to give from our saucer. We have to give from our overflow. And so in what areas of our lives do we have an overflow? That's the place where we need to be giving of ourselves. I was reading a book the other day that was really just talking about the incredible power of giving of ourselves and just going through the world and recognizing that we have something to give. Man, our self-esteem goes up tremendously when we realize that we have a purpose, that there's a reason for us to be on this planet, and that we have something to give to other people. And so usually altruism takes the form of time, just spending some time with somebody and listening to them and loving them and recognizing that, you know, we share the same breath. In fact, I tell people aloha on every sign off. I say aloha from paradise. And the word aloha means sharing the breath. Alo, it means to share, and ha is the breath. Sharing the breath. It means that we are surrounded by infinite abundance of air and that we share it. That doesn't matter if we're rich or we're poor, if we're a nice person, if we're a terrible person, it does not matter. We all share the same breath. We share the same humanity. And that's, I think, one of the first realizations we need to come to when it comes to being altruistic, is that just recognize that us and the people around us are equal. And that equality means that we're never too good or not good enough to help somebody else. And so it also takes the form of resources. And yeah, money is a resource, but also we have other resources inside of ourselves. We have the internal characteristics that we are born with and that we have developed and honed over time. Some people are more self-developed than others. Some people have, you know, different perspectives than others. And those resources, we have resources of connections. Some people are better connected than others. When we share these resources and we share them without expecting anything in return, when we have a good idea and we present it to somebody else because it can help them and enrich them and not wanting or even caring about getting anything in return, that is an altruistic act. And of course, our attention, the attention that we pay to somebody. I was chatting with somebody just yesterday, and they're going through a recovery from a surgery. And I asked them, I said, do you have a support network? Because I barely know this person. Barely know them. They're somebody that I met on the internet because they wanted to repost something that I had written on their blog, and they contacted me and asked me for permission to repost my words on their blog. And I said, certainly, you can absolutely do that. The words that I've written are meant for public consumption, and if you'd like to amplify them and magnify them, you do so with my blessing. And I talked to this person, and I said, you know, what does your support network look like? And they basically named 2 people. They said, that's my support network. Well, I am really, really blessed to have a support network of hundreds of people who love and care about me. But I know what it's like to have a support network that the numbers in the single digits. And so I decided at that point that I needed to be a part of this person's support network. They were reaching out to me for a reason, and I was able to give them my attention. How important that is. So when we're being altruistic, it's really important to avoid some pitfalls of doing it. And the number one is burnout. It's giving from our cup and not our saucer. When we give from our own resources that we need, then we are, you know, when we're giving that in sacrificially and repeatedly and sacrificially, then it creates resentment and bitterness. And so it's really important. We have to understand the places that we have abundance and then give from those places of abundance. We cannot give from a place where we have lack. If we have an abundance of money, then giving money is appropriate. If we have a lack of time, then giving time is not appropriate. It just depends on our personal life situation, and our life situation consistently changes over time. And so therefore, it's really important for us to continually revisit where we can be altruistic and when we can't be. So the other thing to really the other thing that we need to watch out for is we need to watch out for our own pride in our altruism, because it's very easy to slip into an idea that we are the savior of other people, or that, because we're doing something, that we deserve recognition for it. And once our pride enters the equation, then an altruistic act becomes a transactional one. And so it goes from being a transformational relationship to a transactional one. Altruism is transformational. It transforms the person who gives the altruism. It transforms the person who receives it, and it transforms everybody that those two people run into in the course of their lives, simply because they have transformed a situation. A transactional relationship is much more simple. I do this for you, you do this for me. It is a transactional relationship. And once a relationship is revealed to be transactional, then all the benefits of altruism go away. And because everybody says, oh, this relationship has resolved. One person did one thing and another person did another thing, and that was that. You go to work, you get a paycheck, and once you've got your paycheck, then it's done. The relationship is over. You've done the work, you've gotten the pay, and there is really no transformation there. And so we have to understand and remember that everything that we have had the privilege of giving away to other people is something that we have ourselves first received. And we received it. We received it, and that's the only reason that we can give it. And we might have received it because we did something for somebody else. We might have received it in a transactional way, or we might have received it in a transformational way. And I think if we're being honest, that we have to admit that the majority of what we have received has come to us not from our working, but from the altruism of other people who have loved us and served us and given of their time and attention and resources to us, not expecting anything in return. And that transactional relationships are a minority in this life. That what we go and do for money, for example, occupies only 1/3 of our lives 5 days a week out of 7. And yet what we receive from other people, just because they love us and care about us, occupies all the rest. So we have to understand that that what we have to give, we have received. All right, this one's running a little bit long, guys. I have a lot of strong thoughts about altruism. And so I want to say thank you guys so much. You're being altruistic simply by lending your time and attention here, and by being dedicated to improving your own relationship with yourself. And so in doing so, and being the best version of you and showing up as the best version of you, you are giving the people around you a gift. And I am here to acknowledge that for you, my altruistic friends. So we are going to reconvene at 9 p.m. tonight. And my question for you tonight is, in what way has altruism shown up in your life? I don't want you to tell me about the nice things you did for somebody else. I don't care about the nice things you did for somebody else. I care about the way that the nice things that you were able to do were transformational for you. That's what I care about. So I appreciate you guys. I love you. Thank you for coming here. The chat has been so absolutely lit this morning. So I just want to say thank you so much to, let's see here. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Brenda Jean. Thank you, Easy. More people. Here we go. Thank you, Jeffrey. And thank you, Frank. Thank you guys all for being here and for just enjoying some time with me today. I assure you and affirm for you that you are all altruistic people, and that I love you and I care about you, and that I want what's best for you. And to the best of my ability, my desire, my most fervent desire, is for us to have a transformational relationship together. So we're doing it right now. We'll be doing it at 9 p.m. tonight. And if you need a particular affirmation, it's on my YouTube channel. I'll talk to you guys soon. Aloha from paradise.